Hey everyone, welcome back. So this is another tag video. I think I've been tagged. I think I've been tagged in 3 different videos in the space of like a week. So yeah, and it's hit half term for me here as well with the kids being off. So yeah, just trying to cram a few videos in while I've got literally an hour and a half to myself. So I got tagged in by my pal Joffrey at Joffrey's Joffrey's Noodle Legs. Sorry, mate. He did a really interesting video actually, where he was starting his own tag off. Or at least I'm pretty sure it's where it came from. I'm sure he started this one off. And it is the 5 I don't want to say 5 favourite, but 5 great deaths I think it was in horror. Now at first I thought, I don't know if I could think of 5 great deaths in horror, but then within a minute, once I started doing a bit of research and sort of looking into it, and I heard Joff's answers, I thought, actually, do you know what? There is quite a few that would come to mind. So, I've even got a few honourable mentions. So, yeah, I wasn't sure at the start of this video, I'll be really honest, but the more I thought about it, the more excited I got for it. So let's have a little look. So, yeah, so the 5 great deaths in horror movies. I think I put that title right. I might have got it slightly wrong, but that's the gist of the video. So I'm going to do my tags first, because again, if I don't do them now, I will just end the video, forget all about it. So I want to tag 4 people in this. I'm being greedy again, but I've got 4 people that I know are into their horror, and I'm really interested to see if they what kind of answers they're going to pull out of the bag for this. So 4 people. Obviously, again, as always, there's no pressure to do this if you just don't fancy it or you haven't got the time. I fully appreciate, and you know, no hard feelings whatsoever. But if you do have the time and you're interested, I would love to see Jason Brett, my good friend Jason. He's back on the old media now for YouTube videos on physical media and yeah, recommending films. So really great to see him back. So yeah, Jason Brett, I really want to see your kills. I can imagine there's going to be some inventive ones in there if you do go for the video, mate. My good pal again, Nicky over at Skin Crawlers. Again, another big horror fan. Really want to see what he's got up his sleeve for some favourite deaths in horror. Horror Hands, Bryn, if you're free, mate. Again, I have a scroll through your. I know you do so much content. I did scroll through your channel and I couldn't see you done this before. I may be wrong, so if you've done it before and I've missed it or forgotten about it, I do apologise. But if you haven't, I'd really love to see your favourite kills. And Alan Scouser, so he's popped a few comments on my videos recently. Alan's a great kind of community, very passionate about his reviews. I love to see his passion in his reviews. So yeah, I'd love to see what his favourite 5 kills are in horror movies. So yeah, that's my 4 tags. So if you guys are free and able, then feel free. Without further ado though, let's get on to mine. So the first one that popped into my head would be probably, now this is going to be hard because these are going to be slightly spoilery, so obviously I can't tell you about a death without telling you about the death. So a bit, I'll try and do it so if you know, you know, and if you don't, then you'll know when you get to it, I think. Is that the best way of doing it? I'm not sure. I'll give it a go, and I can't even put pictures or videos up because these are going to be quite savage, I think, so I don't think the video will last long up on YouTube if I do. So the first one that came into my head was a film called Irreversible, sitting behind me on the shelf somewhere. And I remember the first time I watched this, the scene or the death that made my mouth just drop was, and you'll know, you may have already guessed this if you've seen this film, there's a fire extinguisher scene. So yeah, you see a fire extinguisher be used to kill someone. And from memory, I don't feel like it cuts away, which is probably the weirdest thing to watch when you, especially back then. Yeah, this fire extinguisher is used to kill someone, and it's not the contents inside that's used; it's the actual extinguisher itself. And yeah, this guy gets one fire extinguisher, basically trying to replace his head. So, I feel bad laughing, but it's like. It's just so like traumatic to watch. I just remember seeing it and thinking, how have they done that? Like, it looks like someone's actually done that to a guy. Anyway, that's my first pick. So the next one's going to be, I'm sure this would be on a lot of people's lists. It's known as one of the great deaths in horror, and that is Jason from Jason X in the liquid nitrogen kill. So again, if you know, you know. So there's a scene where a girl basically gets grabbed by Jason. She gets a little bit too close. He manages to drop her face, her whole head down into the liquid nitrogen. You see her face freeze over. And if that's not bad enough, he then takes her out and then just drops her head down on this side. It shatters. Oh, absolutely brutal. But it's so overly violent, it's almost funny. Maybe it shouldn't be funny. I think maybe this is why I'm not quite right. But, but yeah, I found it quite funny anyway. So anyway, that was my second pick. Okay, my third pick. So my third pick here, I've just realised I haven't done my honourable mentions, so I'll have to do them at the end. My third pick here is Bone Tomahawk. So I've talked about this film a few times on the channel. And again, if you know, you've already jumped ahead and you know where I'm going with this. But yeah, there's a scene where someone is tied up, let's just say, and all their limbs are attached to ropes, and there is a there's a split, shall we say. So I won't say any more because that's probably enough for most people's imaginations. But let's just say, it's not two become one, it's one becomes two in this situation. And yeah, it doesn't hold back. It doesn't hold back. So number 4, I think this is. It's another Jason one. So Jason from Friday the 13th. So this one is technically this one's from Freddy versus Jason, if I'm remembering right. I'm sure I'm remembering this right. But I feel like this one was just so, again, it caught me sort of like the severeness of it, the like brutality of it, and the speed of it was just made me borderline like gasp and laugh at the same time. There's a scene fairly early on where this teenage couple are doing that thing in the bedroom. Or they've just done that, and that's obviously Jason's like cue to come in. And as the girl goes out in to get the shower or whatever she's doing, the guy's laying there, and this guy is an absolute jerk. Like no one likes this guy. You can tell he's just sitting there, and he's about to get it from Jason, and he's laying like belly down on this bed. And Jason comes in. I can't remember if he stabs him. He might stab him first with a machete and kill, and you think that's it, or he might just go for the actual kill, which is what I'm voting for here in my list. And he basically takes the bed from both ends and just folds it shut with him in it, and you just see his legs come back over. It's so horrendous. Again, maybe this shouldn't be funny. This is maybe an eye opener for me mentally. Maybe I shouldn't be this way wired. But but there we go. I am, right. We love the horror movies for these kills. So anyway, let's not dwell on my mental health. Let's carry on. So the fifth one. So the fifth spot was hard to fill. So there was a couple here. So I'm going to go with, and I should have rewatched this one because I'm not 100% sure. I've got a feeling this is Final Destination 2. And I want to say, if I've remembered this right, I feel like there's this scene where there's this young boy going to the dentist. And I feel like they, as Final Destination does so well, it builds up all these different scenarios where you see it coming, you think it's coming, you think it's coming. And then, if I've remembered it right, I'm pretty sure it all ends up like fizzling out. All these different scenarios fizzle out, and he ends up going outside with his mum. And as he walks out, I may be blurring two different kills here, so please correct me in the comments, but I feel like this is my memory of it. This little boy comes out with his mum, and there's this massive like crane carrying this huge piece of glass on this sort of suction cup thing up in the air, and just like that it drops, and poof, there you go, gone. So yeah, again, it's just so quick, so severe, and after that tension build up, that release was just like you just, I don't know, comedy and horror, right? It's meant to be funny, surely, right? So I think that was my 5. Did I get to 5? I feel like I got to 5. So that was the fire extinguisher from Irreversible, liquid nitrogen from Jason X. It was the split from Bone Tomahawk. It was Jason again with Freddy vs. Jason with the bed fold. Yeah, and I went for the Final Destination 2 glass drop scene. I feel like that's the key. I might be mixing two up there. Anyway, a couple of honourable mentions that didn't quite make it, but almost did. I'll be interested to see if these appear in anyone else's. The classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the 70s, when the guy gets the mallet to the head and he's just laying on the floor twitching. Jesus, like that was an eye opener from me back in the day. Another one would be the opening to Ghost Ship. I've spoken about that a couple of times recently on the channel. So when the cable goes across and just like slices the entire boat, mild spoiler there, is the first 5 minutes of the film. And then the last sort of honourable mention would be, again, Jason again, and one that just makes me laugh every time. This is from Jason Takes Manhattan #8, and this guy tries boxing Jason. And again, if you've seen it, you already know where this is going. But the guy basically gets a few punches in and says something like, "Take your best shot." And Jason just clean punches his head straight off. It just runs, it just flies right across the screen. Yeah, so there we go. They're my honourable mentions. This was a really fun video to do, so thank you, Joff, for doing the video and putting that idea out into the space, mate. And yeah, hopefully I'll get a couple of tags back from some of my pals here in YouTube that are into their horror. I'll be really interested to see what they pick for their favourite 5 deaths in horror. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.